The role of Gandalf was first offered to Sean Connery, but he had never read the books and said that he didn't understand the manuscript. When Connery was offered the role, he was also offered 15% of the film's total income, which after the movie is worth $400,000. And this is more than any actor in the world has ever earned in a single role. Joke's on you, Sean. That Aragorn was to be acted by Viggo Mortensen was certainly not set in stone before the films were made. Daniel Day-Lewis had turned down the role multiple times, and when Nicolas Cage was asked, he too declined because of some serious family obligations. When Mortensen finally got the role, he showed everyone that he really was the best man for it. He was trained by the same fight choreographer that led the actors in Star Wars, and moreover he never used the rubber swords that the rest of the crew did. Instead he relied himself on a real steel sword in order to get the feeling that would be necessary to make his swings more real. And if that wasn't enough, he didn't use any stuntmen. He acted all of his scenes by himself. The fact that he did all of his acting himself turned out in some serious injuries. For example, Viggo broke his toe when he kicked the Uruk-hai helmet by the Fangorn forest, and one time he chipped a tooth during a fight scene, went to the dentist on the lunch break and was ready to film again on the afternoon. In the 1960s, the band The Beatles actually tried to come through to make a Lord of the Rings movie, with Stanley Kubrick as director. In the movie, Paul McCartney would play the role as Frodo, Ringo Starr would be Sam, George Harrison were going to play Gandalf, and John Lennon were going to be Gollum. But fortunately, one man had the guts to stand in the way, and that was the legendary J.R.R. Tolkien himself. There are a lot of fans of Lord of the Rings, and hopefully you are one of them, watching this video wanting to know more about the books or movies. But one lady in Denmark took her love to the books to a new level, and illustrated the Danish version of the books. Her name was Inga Hilde, and she is a woman with love for art and occasionally visits works at art galleries. But the name Inga Hilde is just a pseudonym, and the real title of Inga Hilde is Margaret II. Margaret II is until this day the Queen of Denmark. If you want to learn more about the pre-story of The Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit, you could read the Silmarillion, or if you wanted shortened look at this video, by the amazing YouTuber CGP Grey. Anyway, to make things short, Gandalf is a half-angel who is sent to the earth in the form of a man. He's not alone, and together with Saruman, Radagast and the two blue wizards, Alatar and Pallando, appointed to the world to stop it from the upcoming danger that is Morgoth and Sauron. In both the Lord of the Rings movies and The Hobbit we meet Saruman, Gandalf and Radagast, but the Blue Wizards is not really presented anywhere, except from the scene where Bilbo has just joined the Dwarven group. Gandalf explains for Bilbo that there are 5 of us, himself, Saruman, Radagast, and then he says there are 2 Blue Wizards, but tells Bilbo that he has forgotten their names. The exclusion of the both Blue Wizards' names from that scene, according to Peter Jackson himself, is due to the fact that the filmmakers only bought the rights for The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings books, but the names of the Blue Wizards are presented in the Silmarillion. This was 5 fast facts about the Lord of the Rings. There are hundreds of fun facts about these books and movies, so this is probably not the last episode. Stay tuned for further episodes and don't forget to subscribe.